party people in the place to be. How you doing? My name is Slug from Atmosphere, the mighty rhyme sayers, and you're watching BACKSPIN.TV. Sissy.
But he was always safe from dad's rage, 'cause mama sacrificed in his place. 24 years of the blood, sweat, tears. Avoid the mirror, losing her hair from the fear. She never left him, stayed inside. He beat her ass up until the day that he died. In fact, the biggest beating was the day that he died.
It's much better. You know, you have a lot of colleagues to kick it with and chill with that, you know, strength in numbers kind of a thing. Sometimes when you're touring through lands that you're not familiar with, it can get kind of lonely, you know. And here we got, you know, just all our crew, you know. Some guys, they want to play cards. Some guys want to smoke weed. Some guys, they drink beers. Some guys, they go to the red light district. Just kidding. No guys go to the red light district.
Life. She gets to mourn for the touch of a punch. Won't ever admit that she ain't clutch.
That's when I poo. That's number 2. After I brush my teeth, I relax. You know, we just chill, cool out, you know, me and the homies. That's where the crib's at. We, I guess relaxation just kind of comes whenever you can find it. You know what I mean? It's like, there's a lot of moving around. You keep on the go, because when you're not at the venue getting ready for the show, you're looking around like a tourist, you know, sightseeing, looking at things, you know, so I'll relax when I'm at home.
Nah, that's half the truth, 'cause you back with him now and he's smacking you. What happened to you? You don't have a clue. Did your mama used to suffer accidents too?
Touring is different nowadays when you're traveling, because you do have all of these technologies, you know, Skype and instant messenger and phone. And so I'm able to, I do Skype with my wife and my baby every day. And then with my other son, we talk or send texts. But yeah, daily. It's a daily ritual to touch base. You know, they wake up at 7 in the morning, which is, you know, like 2 here. And so I'm usually, by 2 o'clock, I've already showered and eaten. And so I usually try to find internet to sit down and wait for them to wake up so that we can have Skype in the morning while they eat breakfast.
I guess I just assumed that you would pack up and move. Think about when you left him last time. Said out loud, you'd never forgive past crime. Sunglasses, so dark.
I would never try to prevent them if that's their dream. You know, I would not like to see them do it because they think it's easy. Maybe they, you know, might grow up thinking, oh, well, dad did it, it must be easy. I wouldn't like to see them do it with that in mind, because it's not easy. It's, you know, it's heartbreaking. It's a very hard way of life. You know, I'm fortunate to do this. It's an incredible thing to do with my life, and many people would love to trade places with me. But when you do become the guy that does it, you do learn how difficult of a life this could be, how difficult of a choice that this is, just because of the amount of traveling. And also, you know, when you put your heart into any art, probably, not just music, but any kind of art, you're putting yourself out there to be destroyed or rejected, you know, on a pretty regular basis. But that's part of the beautiful thing, you know, that's part of the adrenaline I get from that, you know, that's part of why I do this. But in the same breath, it's also the hardest job I've ever had. It's the best job I've ever had, but also the hardest job I've ever had. And so I would never prevent my children from getting involved, and I would never push them into getting involved. I would leave it up to them and just hope for the best, you know. And if I can offer any advice or any help, you know, sure. But I think anybody that ever gets involved, they have to do it because they felt it from the inside that they had to do it, you know. Because I would compare it to, you know, lining up with a bunch of people to have knives thrown at you. There's so many people that when they throw the knife, it might hit you. It might not. It might hit the guy next to you or a few guys down. And maybe you're wanting that knife to hit because that knife hit might be success. Or maybe you're not wanting that knife to hit because that you don't even know what's going to happen when the knife hits. And that type of a feeling is what I would compare making records, to making music, you know, because the excitement of, okay, it's here it comes, and then what's it gonna feel like, you know? But yeah, I would never even tell a friend, yo, you should do this. I would suggest, hey, if you really want to stand in front of a bunch of fucking people throwing knives, man, that's on you.
Loud, you never forgive past crime. Sunglasses, so dark. Scarf around the neck to cover the choke marks. And since you gotta justify returning, you can.
I mean, I feel like sometimes, you know, that there's no way you can control how people interpret what you do. And so I do my best to educate people on what I'm all about and what my music is all about. But once I say my piece, it's on them to figure it out, you know? And so some people do think that I am Atmosphere, MC Atmosphere, you know what I mean? They don't, but you know, I always try to say, you know, it's like Boogie Down Productions, like Gangstar, you know, these were the names of the groups because we wanted the emphasis to not just be on the rapper, but also be on the producer. And so Atmosphere is Anthony and myself. But when you go, like, sometimes talk to people who aren't as knowledgeable about this branch of underground rap, they're going to make the mistake. They see the word Atmosphere next to a song title and they think, oh, they see my picture, that guy is Atmosphere. You know, I can't blame them. I don't think they're dumb for thinking that, because it's just how it works. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have control over how people or journalists or fans or anybody, once I put it out there, then they do what they do with it. And it doesn't make me mad. It doesn't bother me. I just try to champion for Ant as much as possible to make sure that people are aware of Anthony and the role that he plays in the music we make.
Person, you wanna blame that cross he bears, but his pop's not there when he tosses you downstairs.
The last record I bought a handful of records at once on iTunes. It was I had pre-ordered the new Tom Waits, and when I was pre-ordering that, I bought Radio Moscow record, and I bought a Bjork record, her new record, and I bought the Local Natives, and you know, and they were all good, but I guess out of all of them, the one I would suggest is the Tom Waits one, or else I would suggest Cloud Cult. If you were gonna go and listen to some shit because my dumbass suggested it, then make it be Cloud Cult. Listen to anything by them. It's amazing, amazing stuff. Google them, look them up, and read their story.
Again, you gotta mean it. Just tear it all apart and build new. Cause if you don't kill him, he's gonna...
You know, graffiti is a little easier for me to follow than b-boying because I can just go online and look for stuff. I pay attention to what's happening in my own city. But I can't say that I follow it to the nerd degree that I used to follow it. You know, I used to really be a nerd about it, and now I've managed to fill my life with all kinds of other things that I got to keep in my head. And so now graffiti has become more of just like a peripheral luxury, a thing that, you know, once in a while, when I see something on the side of the road that's amazing, you know, coming to Europe is great because it's very, very, it's everywhere. It's so accessible, and a lot of it's really good. You know, you guys, in this continent, man, people have taken it, even street art, so serious compared to, you know, if I say that, it makes me sound like I'm dissing somebody back home or I'm being a dick. I'm not a dick. I love everything. I hope everybody gets laid.
Let me be the last to say, please don't stay.